Besides serving North Carolina on the Supreme Court, Judge Frye also spent a decade in the North Carolina legislature and served his country, rising to the rank of captain in the U.S. Air Force. But today, we did not talk about his remarkable past. We asked him to comment on what's happening right now. There has been a lot of concern raised about partisanship in the courts among judges. You were on the court yourself for many years. What is your take on what is going on today?
You start with a tough question. So what I would say is that it's not as bad as I think people think it is. This isn't the first time that people have differed, and history will show that.
Do you think the public perception that partisanship does exist today on the courts is hurting the integrity of the system?
Well, obviously it does. Whatever you're saying is something that people may read about 100 years from now. So you don't want to get too far out of line. I
couldn't help but notice a sign in your yard which says "End Racism." Tell me about that. Why is the sign in your yard?
Well, the sign is there because somebody put it there, and I've forgotten who it was now. And I thought to myself, at first I started to pull it up. I said, wait a minute, how could this do any harm? It's got to be good. And somebody might look at it and say, you know, maybe I could help, end racism.
What is your take then, the current movement of the Black Lives Matter? What is your take on that?
Well, as I have said to several people here, all lives matter. Some people say you should never stir things up, and I don't agree with that. There are times when things are so bad that you need to stir it up. And if you stir it up, you might be able to resolve it. But if you just let it go on and don't do anything and accept anything that comes along, instead of getting better, it's going to get worse.
Are things getting better, you think? Race relations in America, are they improving over the years, do you see, or not?
I see some, and I see some the other way. My thing is try always to be positive, try to be a healer.
If I could ask you, what is the top of your list of achievements in your life? You've had so many. I'd like for you to tell me what was the biggest one for you.
At one point, there was no African-American bank in Greensboro. And I decided to organize a bank. And my wife asked me, she said, how you go organize a bank and you don't have any money? I said, oh, there's a way. So I found a few blacks who had a little money, and the rest of us borrowed some and so forth. And we started Greensboro National Bank.
Judge Frye says his greatest achievement is his family. He and Shirley Frye have been married for 65 years. They have 2 sons and 3 grandkids. He says he recently broke 90 on the golf course. Not bad for a man who turns 90 next August. In Greensboro, Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
All right, great story, Bill. Thank you for that. Let's check it. In Greensboro, that is your Friday night right there. Very heavy in both directions, but no accidents in this area. As Russia invades Ukraine, some tips on managing headline anxiety.
Plus, could a robot serve and mix the next cocktail you order? We're going to take a closer look at the growing trend in the restaurant industry and whether or not it's here to stay.
This edition of the Wake Forest Deacon Minute is brought to you by Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, the official team doctors of the Demon Deacons.
It was a great college basketball game. I think Notre Dame has a really, really good team. But the key was we weathered the storm, and we're only down 6 at half. We made some adjustments at halftime on the zone offense and how we were defending. We went away from any sets, very few ball screens, to just motion. I think those things really helped us win a great college basketball game. Guys, we were 1 rebound away from having 3 guys with the double-double. And so I think that goes to show you how hard our kids played.
This edition of the Wake Forest Deacon Minute is brought to you by Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, the official team doctors of the Demon Deacons.
We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Ukraine as Russia's invasion continues. This right here, a live look at Kyiv, where the streets are deserted. Just into the newsroom, the U.S., Britain, and European Union say that they will move to freeze assets of Russian President Vladimir Putin, as well as the country's foreign minister. We will have more developments as they happen on air and online. With so much going on in Europe and here at home, it is easy for headline anxiety to creep in and make us feel stressed and overwhelmed.
Mary Maloney has 3 tips to help you reduce stress and worry less.
Want to boost your heart health? Running marathons or doing intense workouts aren't the only way. Simple household chores may be all you need.
Our study shows that just about any movement counts.
Steve Nguyen is the lead author of a new study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. A team of researchers at UC San Diego measured the physical activity of more than 5,000 American women between the ages of 63 and 97 and discovered doing chores like washing dishes, vacuuming, and cooking lowered their heart disease risk.
Any housework that we do, working in the kitchen, gardening, sort of all sorts of daily living activities.
The study found women who spent engaged in what they call daily life movement for at least 4 hours had a 43% lower risk of developing either cardiovascular disease or coronary heart disease, which includes heart attacks. They also had a 30% lower risk of stroke and a 62% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Researchers say the study could change how healthcare providers and caregivers discuss physical activity with patients.
Our hearts and cardiovascular systems do not particularly distinguish whether we're getting our movement through walking or running or through daily life movement.
Researchers say people of all ages could see a similar benefit.
We have no reason to think that there would not be